Good evening everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Tuesday the 6th of February 2024 and tonight we are going back to the International Stadium. It is Gateshead versus Eastleigh in the National League. So they're just outside the ground now. I don't get as much time to spare as I used to do on Tuesday night games now, such as my job, etc. But anyway, they're going into this evening's game. Eastleigh are currently in 13th place in the National League table and in a bit of a rut at the minute, it has to be said. They have conceded the most amount of goals in the division. The league's top scorer, which is of course Paul McCallum, is suspended for tonight's game, and they've not won in all competitions in their last 8 games, so it makes for pretty grim reading for their fans at the moment, but I'm certainly not taking any of that for granted, nor the fact that we did win 6-0 down at Silver Lake in September, a game which I of course missed because I was in Germany at the time. But speaking of Gateshead, we are in 7th place now in the National League table following Saturday's 1-0 win at Southend United, and it was a massive result for us. That really was big, but I think the shine would be taken off it massively if we didn't get a decent result tonight. I mean, a point maybe wouldn't be a disaster from this game, and I said that on Saturday, but I think the fact that we did get that win on Saturday and the win against Barnet really does maybe take the pressure off us a little bit tonight, but all the same it would be nice to win. And it goes without saying that we've had some really good times at the International Stadium on the Tuesday nights in recent years. Like you think of the Leyton Orient FA Trophy tie, the Salford's game in what is unfortunately known as the Calais, and like all the various replays in the FA Cup and what have you, and we seem to do quite well under the lights here, and fingers crossed that trend does continue tonight. I'm not sure if Eastleigh travelled up today or if they've been up since yesterday or whatever, because it is a hell of a long journey for them all the way up from pretty much Southampton. So if there's any Eastleigh fans watching this that were at the game tonight, fair play. Like honestly, if I was wearing a hat I'd tip it to you, but yeah, I know what it's like to be a fan and do those kind of journeys from one end of the country to the other, let alone on Tuesday night, so you've got to respect it. Of course this game was meant to be on a Saturday, but obviously Eastleigh were in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, which at the time was probably a blessing in disguise for us that game got called off, because we'd just lost a lot of players for being recalled from loan spells, Stephen Wern going to MK Dons that day and what have you, so it's probably not even exaggerating that I would have probably had to have stopped vlogging that day, because I would have had to have played in midfield. We were really that low on numbers, so hopefully that's all worked out for the best for us, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Like, you cannot underestimate any opponent in this league. Every single one of them brings their own difficulties, their own challenges, and I'm sure Eastleigh will do just that tonight, but fingers crossed we can rise to that and get a big 3 points. Let's head into the International Stadium and find out how it all unfolds.
Welcome to Gateshead International Stadium.
So the teams are warming up. Eastleigh getting ready in this half. Looks as though they're going to be in a change strip of orange this evening. Of course, their usual colours would be blue. Anyway, Gateshead are getting ready here in this half as we always do, and of course going to be in the white and black home strip. Anyway, I'll see you when the players are coming out of the tunnel and ready to start the match.
Gateshead! Gateshead!
Daniel the Ritter. You look like Daffy. Daffy.
You know, man. How we have the lads?
Get it in the box. 18 minutes into the game, I could tell you what happened, but to be honest, there's been as much happened in this game as happens on, like, I don't know, Radio 4 or something like that. 0-0. It's still 0-0. I wouldn't be surprised, like.
Go, Wheeler!
Get in.
Gotta go before our time. There's no other way. We're out of time. Shoot! Go on!
Get in.
No! Yes! No! Oh, it's not going in! I'm trying to internal, that wasn't it.
Half-time Gates at 0, Eastleigh 0. I'd love to see the stats for just about everything in this game so far. For maybe a heat map of action areas, possession, corners, shots. I think all of them will be like massively in our favour. But the only problem is the scoreline isn't as such of yet. Eastleigh have been very deep in this first half, but I am starting to worry a little bit that they're going to be one of those teams that could come here for a point and get all three. I mean, personally, I maybe would change something up a little bit. I think we just need to get at them a bit more. They're quite happy for us to just knock it about the way we are, sit off us. I think just drive at them a bit more, give the defence a bit more to think about, because you can tell that they are very late in the final third, especially tonight. But it's just been frustrating above all else. I mean, the first 18 minutes of this game were absolutely horrendous, and from there we really ought to be like 3-0 up in this game or something like that. But as it is still 0-0, and we need to do something about that.
Go on!
Just had a feeling this sort of thing was going to come.
Fuck off, man!
Oh,
Fucking get him in, mate. Fucking get him in, mate.
yeah. Five minutes of overtime. It's pointless hoping because we don't deserve anything from the game.
The kid has to come up, mate. He's doing fucking lucky. Don't fucking
Why are we cheering getting a penalty? We need to score it, yeah. Just gonna sum up all night.
Full-time Gateshead 1, Eastleigh 1. First things first, apologies that the footage does go a little bit weird as soon as the ball hits the net for our equaliser. Basically, it was that situation, you know, if you've got an iPhone, you'll know what I'm talking about, where it wants to run an update and it just takes up so much stock, and that, like, waiting update just takes up so much storage. Basically, that's what happened. So yeah, my phone just decided to give up on me as soon as the ball went in, so I had to temporarily delete a couple of apps before the game restarted. But yeah, apologies for that, but lesson learned. Just make sure that there's no pending updates or whatever when I'm going to a match. But speaking of the game, it definitely feels a bit of a get out of jail free card, I must say. It was just a really frustrating night above all else. I think we should have been three up at half time or something like that. I just didn't make it count. And in the second half, Eastleigh have gone and scored that goal. I think, if I'm telling the truth, I'm disappointed that the goalkeeper didn't save it, really. I think it was almost felt like it was like catching practice, really. But lo and behold, it did go into the back of the net, and it just felt as though that kind of thing was coming. It just felt like just such typical us, I've got to say. I think we were on such a high on the back of Saturday, and they just really came crashing back down to earth there. But we still carried on creating chances. I think Dejuan Brown, when he came into the game, did make an impact. The same with Kane Dom. I think, if I am telling the truth, I think quite a bit of the team selection tonight didn't really make sense, and I think it probably would have made more sense for either Brown or Adom to have been in the starting lineup. And I'm not sure why what the thinking was behind Ben Warman, because I think he again made quite a bit of a difference when he came on. So I think, like, maybe before long we are going to have to start just putting these players in the starting lineup instead of making them a bit of a super subs, if you get what I mean. But maybe you could argue that we've got the bare minimum of what we deserved out of the game. Obviously, getting a penalty in a dying second, Luke Hannon putting the ball away, and it was a bit of relief, I've got to say. But at the same time, maybe quite frustrated that we didn't get that game one, because we had again probably enough chances to win 2 games, but at times as well I thought we were maybe a little bit sluggish in the final third. And Eastleigh put a lot of players behind the ball, and it was tough for us to break them down. I think we need to adapt to that, especially at home. There's been too many occasions this season where teams have where teams maybe have put more bodies at the back, and we just haven't really found the solutions to break them down enough to get games won. So I think home form again, it's been a bit patchy, the home form this season, I've got to say. I think obviously Eastleigh are another team now where we did better in the away game than what we did in the home game, but it is what it is. It's could have been better, but yes, most certainly could have been a lot worse as well. And look, it is 7 points from 3 games, and you would have absolutely taken them before they were played. I've played against obviously Barnet, who were right up there, Southend, who were never an easy side to face, and then Eastleigh tonight. Maybe no disrespect, we probably were expecting a little bit more in terms of the result, but then again, they maybe had a point to prove on the back of all their poor form of late, and they'll be disappointed that they didn't see the game out. But I think maybe in hindsight, it's probably a result they would have taken before the game. But that is that for this video, and I'll be back on Saturday with Hereford FC versus Gateshead in the FA Trophy. So now our attention turns to another competition. Can we get in the quarterfinals? Check back Saturday to find out. But until then, take care. Cheers for watching. See you later.